to get the recorder, and we're going to turn the microphones on. All right, everything, our technology group says we are in business. So, all right, well, I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Brookfield Inland Wetlands Commission. Today is Monday, the 22nd of January, 2024. My name is Sharon Fox. I act as chair of the commission. To my right is our newly elected secretary, Mr. Bob Hudman, and to my left, our newly elected vice chairman, Mr. Michael, excuse me, Neustadt.
Did I choke you up
Yeah,
that
sorry
much?
about that. And farther down, Mr. Dave Frankel, who's a regular member, so all four of us will be voting members tonight. Further down is our recording secretary, Cassandra Varian, and down on the other side is the Brookfield Inland Wetlands Enforcement Officer, Ms. Laura Barkowski. So we will start the meeting with the officers' report. We talked about these active sites, 731. Again, the report is everything is stable because it's frozen. But I think you said you're going to follow up with.
I will follow up with Michelle.
With Michelle and see how she feels about, now that we've got more data, right, which they didn't have, you know, when it was designed. We need to talk about, is this going to work to keep sediment out of the river? If the pond needs to be dredged more often, well, that's going to be a maintenance item. But now what is concerning me, as I said, we have writing that's saying that there's enough silt and it's building up and it could breach, like I said. So, I mean, maybe they got to adjust the maintenance plan. Maybe that's the answer.
Yes, I will. I will
Okay.
definitely follow up with her and see.
Because I don't remember what the maintenance plan was. This is one we did during COVID and we were on Zoom and it was a real challenge.
I will review the maintenance plan as well.
Yeah.
With her and just see where we left off.
Yeah, and maybe.
Express that the commission's concern is sediment going into the river.
Right, that's our concern, right? If, and I don't remember what this chair is too high. I don't remember what the maintenance plan is. I don't remember if we had reports, but maybe, maybe that's one of the things that's a possibility, right? I mean, maybe they have to increase the maintenance plan from once a year, whatever it was, X a year to 2X a year or 3X a year. I don't know. Maybe because of all the reporting, maybe we want to hear from them once a year for the next couple of years, right?
Let me see what it's written. I'll get the actual stipulations for the site also.
Yeah, and I think we can change them too. I mean, because I said if there's a breach, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And so we don't want to be in a position of dealing with violations. Nobody wants that. So those are just some ideas off the top of my head. Okay.
We'll definitely have a conversation with her and let her know what the major concerns are and kind of review that maintenance plan as well.
All right, and the school, we will get more. I haven't been over there. Anybody been over there to the school? See if all these. I haven't been over there. I probably need to get over there when spring comes. See how these wetlands are faring, because it's just a surprise to me that we still don't have any baseline reports. And I think we can maybe we can just ask the land use office, because these are the real, we'll wait reports, we'll leave it as it is. Okay, Graves Bridge Road. We saw in that enormous rainstorm that the Still River flooded into the detention basin. So that in and of itself, I don't think is a real concern, as long as the detention basin is there when the river recedes. I mean, I don't think so. I don't remember that. I don't think it was going to have plants in it or anything like that. Of course, all the soda bottles and things like that that are in the river are going to end up in that detention basin when these kinds of things happen, but that's a minor concern. Again, their report doesn't say that the detention basin failed, so we'll keep an eye on that. 58 Old Grays Bridge, again, we're leaving this here Because every so often, I think we want to check in with, and I cannot remember the property owner's name. See how he's making out getting that contaminated soil removed. I was thinking about this a little bit over the weekend. You know, I mean, I think we have to, you know, there is a, be it remote possibility, that they can't get that soil out of there. I mean,
Why can't they?
because they've been at it for 3 years and it still hasn't happened. So I think it's now a possibility. And I would wanna look, we wanna look and see where those, wetlands creations areas are. Maybe to get this off our radar, maybe we have to reconfigure where those wetlands creations are. As I said, we had to, this one, you guys remember, they created wetlands for a lot of reasons. I think they wanted to, because it is in a floodplain. And second, they had to nick, I don't know, it was 1,000 feet or so of wetland soils to get that road in behind the building for the fire trucks in case they
I
needed
remember
it.
that, yeah.
Or at least the firefighters to get back in there. I don't know if a truck would actually ever go back there now knowing what I know, but nevertheless, maybe there's a, you know, maybe they can change that. I mean, I'm just saying, they've been at this for a long time.
A long time, right. Couple
And
years.
At least
Right.
a couple years.
Right.
So maybe we should take a look at that plan. I'll try and get over and look at this with you, because I know this is way before your time.
Yes.
And see if there's something else that could be done.
Because they're getting held up through the state, if I remember correctly.
I think there was a number of things. First, it was the contractor, and then it was the testing wasn't happening correctly, you know, and then there was something else and something else. So I think it's a challenging project. So I'm not trying to be negative in any way, because I'm sure the property owner's trying to do the right thing. But maybe I said to get it off our radar, get it off, because I think he's got a bond too. I think there's a bond on this.
I believe there is.
Yeah, we should have set a bond. If we didn't, that was a mistake on our side. And we want to figure out a way to get his bond back, you know?
Which most people will appreciate, you know.
Right, and then we can get the created wetlands. I said, maybe there's a different place to do it. I don't remember, it was a pretty contaminated site. I remember it was
Yeah, I
a big,
remember that
huge
too.
problem. But I'm just saying, let's put this also on our list of things to do. It's not a priority, to see if we can come up with a different plan. Or we can even ask him to come up with a different plan, conceivably, right? So we can get his bond back. I don't think it's huge. I don't think it's $50,000, but it was multiple thousands, because it was a pretty big area. So, you know, before this whole thing expires too.
That's my other concern. What I was going to ask you is, do you know what year it was approved?
This is like, this was 2019. This was,
So we're getting close.
yeah,
is what I'm
2019.
hearing.
I don't think this was COVID. I don't think it was 2020.
It all runs together after a while. It's been a long time though.
Well, we should know. Isn't it 18? Here's the plan. Isn't 18 the year?
It should be.
So, yeah, so it's 2018. Should be, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way the code works, I think.
I think,
It was the 78th file in 2018.
yeah, because that was a slightly different schematic there, so.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
second
so it's, I don't know,
number is
we're
the
on to
year.
our 6th year, and I forget they got 10, ish. So, all right, well, that's kind of my general. I said, that's not a priority at this moment. I think 731, seeing what adjustments, if any, we need to do. Again, maybe the maintenance plan. Spring for 100 Candlewood Lake Road, 23 Graves Bridge. We're just gonna keep an eye on that. And 58, so we'll kind of do them in kind of that general order. Okay, 35 Merwin Brook. We did confirm the plan on this, but I told them, look, until those plants get in the ground, that violation is gonna stay. So he said, well, is that gonna impact him getting a building permit for his home? I said, I don't think so, but if it is, we can talk about it.
So it shouldn't impact him getting his building permit because he has a wetlands permit that's now been issued.
Yeah,
So that section of it should be fine.
Yep.
But it will run continuously. I left it, I made the note on the agenda that that the next step in your plan after the approval was that the plantings needed to be ordered by February 28, 2025.
Right.
That's why I just kind of left it on the agenda as a reminder of that is our next step.
Well, I wanna leave it there
Oh,
until,
yeah.
yeah, till
And then I
those,
want to update to the
Yeah.
next step once I'm done with that and leave it on the agenda.
right. I
So-
mean, that was an unusual stipulation, but it's an enormous amount of plants, you know, and I can't get the stuff I want, you know, at the
At
nurseries.
the nurseries, yes. And that date is coming very quickly.
It is.
February 28th.
It is.
Seems like it's a while, but
It-
it's going to be here before we know it.
Right, so I wanna leave that on. Now, we have a new one here, 11A Cross Road, you're up. What is this about?
11A Crossroad, I received a telephone call for complaint. I'm sorry, I haven't set up a real file. I was out there today.
Okay. You don't have to be sorry about, you don't have to be sorry about that.
11A Crossroad.
You can just say it's on my list of things to do.
Well,
to
I
say-
went out there and I was, this is an old visual from Google Earth.
Where the heck is Cross Road?
Crossroad is off of,
Tower?
yes.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of in, this is our GIS picture. 11 and 11A are owned by the same people. As you can see, they have a substantial amount of wetlands. There's actually a stream that goes from here, a little intermittent brook.
Okay.
The house, that's our field card for the house. Again, just GIS overviews.
Yeah.
When I went out there for a different property, this is what the original street view for, was supposed to look like, from Google Earth. I found this huge pile of cut down wood. They have been clear cutting in the 11, within at least the regulated area on 11.
Okay.
And definitely on 11A.
Okay.
They're piling it. You can see that this house, that's not the house, it's an outside shed.
Okay.
They have done some work.
Oh, haven't
on-
they done, and this is the stream over here, or the
The
wetlands?
stream is
It looks
here,
wetland.
right
Okay,
here,
yep, yep,
runs
yep.
right back through here.
Yep.
It's been cleared out, it's cleared back out further through here.
Oh, dear.
There's a lot of cutting that occurred.
I guess so.
Yeah, I also found some debris that's, I think, way too close to the stream
Okay.
personally.
Okay.
It was just, like I said, this was photos from today. You
All
can
right.
see our little intermittent brook. That I don't know if you want me to send them a violation or if you want me to start with asking them to come to the next meeting. There's also some garbage in the stream. So, some junk from the
I take
site.
it
Sorry.
he didn't attempt to get a permit or anything.
Oh, there are 0 permits on this for building, for zoning, so.
Great.
And I actually has a lot of
Violation.
people contacting him very shortly.
Okay. Well, you can, whatever you think is best. I mean, essentially, he's gotta come up with an application, you know, to remediate this. So if you feel, I'll leave it to my colleagues, if you think that they're willing to get an application together here, you can give them some background, right? The
Absolutely,
last
yeah.
time this happened, here's what they gotta do. Or,
I would like them to come before you. I do think they're gonna.
well,
need
do you
some
wanna show
work.
cause then?
So the issue
You
with
need
show
a,
cause is.
you need a
I
notice,
haven't-
you need a notice of violation,
I
a
need
show
to
cause.
do a notice of violation, but the thing with the show cause is they have to have a meeting within 10 days. Your next meeting is not until February
February.
26th.
Okay,
So I wasn't sure if we just wanted to schedule and see if they'll show up on their own to have a conversation. And if they don't come that day,
Okay,
they
I
don't
agree.
contact me,
I agree.
I will give you a notice of violation.
Okay, that's
And then
fine.
we'll start with show cause and we'll
I
continue
agree.
on our way.
that's fine,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
How
fine.
did this
Perfect.
come to your attention? You just,
So
Was
I was called
reported or
out
you
for the
saw it?
property across the way
Ah,
to investigate a wetlands complaint, and whenever I go out, I do not have blinders on. That particular one, I did not find there to be a wetlands complaint. It's really kind of, in my opinion, more of a zoning complaint, not a wetland. Someone's running a business, they have.
We don't need to know the zoning stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that
Okay.
seems to be more of a zoning issue.
but you
I-
saw the wetlands violations.
But, and when I was there, I literally looked across the road and went, I've been
Oh,
out here twice now, and that used to be forest. And it's not, and there's a stream, so.
So it's
that's all
very
that one.
recent.
Yes, I'm thinking within the last couple of weeks. I don't see any work as far as additional tree clearing happening. So I'm not so concerned about doing something as like a cease and desist. I think they cleared everything that they were gonna clear at this point, so.
I think perhaps they did it out of ignorance. They didn't know they had to notify the town.
you know what, I found it's not worthy or helpful to speculate on their intentions. That has been my experience, Dave.
I just, I figure we're
That's
given
my
an
personal
opportunity to
experience.
come
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And then if not, then
Yeah.
we can
I
start.
think we'll
Yeah.
know better when they come in.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I agree.
perfect, I
All right.
will,
All right, and you
Send a
have
letter
all the
tomorrow.
words, you have all the words of encouragement because you got enforcement behind you. All right, anything else? Anybody see anything driving around town? Want to bring to Laura's attention?
And I looked.
It's always, I always go
Yeah,
looking, yeah,
Well, with
always
this
go
rain,
looking.
I was just,
Except I miss going down Merwin Brook Road and seeing that one, but anyways. Yours I did. So anyways, well, let's go on. Oh, old business, 11 Merwin Brook. All righty. So how'd you make out with your map?
Yeah, you requested a larger.
Yeah, yeah, you go grab a chair, I brought one out here, so. Yeah, I didn't, I was able to, at one point, I stopped the truck right here, and I can see up on the property, and I can see the brook, and I can see or the little water course, and I could see the trees, so.
So where you were right there.
Yeah.
Right in front of the driveway.
Right,
The tree,
Yeah.
there's a very large tree right here,
yeah,
okay? And this is where it's coming down, and it's actually undermining the tree
Yeah.
right there.
yeah,
My concern is, now, the way it's all chewed out, if the tree falls, it's gonna fall in this direction.
thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's all right, it's not your fault, everyone.
that's okay.
The tree, if it does.
You do that all the time,
if it
too.
does drop, it's gonna drop in this direction.
Okay,
My concern was I didn't want it to drop, because their house is right here,
yeah,
okay? Nor do I want, I mean, it is a tall tree.
yeah, it is,
I don't
it's a
know.
beautiful tree,
It's gorgeous, so
Yeah.
that's why I wanna see it.
okay.
So this is
So-
what has to be reinstalled.
Okay, so that's good, we got a nice little map here, so, let's get their, paperwork here. Oh, and I did you get the name
Oh,
from
no.
Cassandra, sorry?
Chris and Cher, you know, Norman Brook Road.
Sorry, Cassandra.
We're too excited, but.
Yeah, we're too excited. Okay, so that's good, so you had talked about, let's see, you're gonna backfill the eroded zone with dirt? You wanna
With
drop
dirt,
some dirt in here?
And then a layer of felt, and then large boulders.
Boulders, okay. There's just
Will
fill
that-
the boulders to protect it.
It's a filler.
Right.
Will that
Bring it back out.
will the dirt or the boulders reroute the stream?
Actually, it's still gonna be more than it was. I can't close it up to where it was originally. That's just too much material.
So the stream is already,
What I wanna do is protect the undermining of the tree.
I understand.
So my objective there is to backfill it as far as the roots are now all covered.
Mhm.
Put the felt across it to retain the dirt, put the
Mhm.
boulders over top of it to keep the dirt and the felt in place.
Mhm.
How do you plan on getting the dirt in there?
I have a back.
Okay.
Right. Now you say boulders.
Yes.
What are you thinking about, like 4 to
Oh.
5 feet, or 2 to 3 feet, or what are you thinking?
In 2 to 5. That'll be a whole mix, cause it's all got, and you can't have them too big, cause then you're gonna have gaps.
Right.
So you have to have the smaller ones
Right,
to fill
fit
in
in,
the gaps,
right.
so it's gonna be a variety.
The big ones is to hold everything in place.
The big ones are basically so that the water doesn't push them out of the way.
Right, exactly.
All right, Mr. Chair, I said, I can't, I'm not gonna be able to tell you whether this is gonna work or not.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't know how everybody else
Well, I
feels, but
mean,
we're not gonna be
We're
able to,
not engineers.
yeah, we're not gonna be able to tell you that this is, at least, I don't think so.
Laura actually recommended an engineer to us.
Yeah,
And we called the engineer, and they came out and they looked at everything, but I've called them several occasions, no response.
Yeah.
No, they don't call me back,
yeah, that happens.
so, I'm kind of it's not rocket science either.
I agree.
Well, I can't tell you, cause I've never done a project like this. My concern is if it fails, we're gonna end up with how much of a mess are we gonna have? That's what I'm,
Well, if it fails, it's just gonna go downstream, just like the current soil.
Right.
with the dirt that you put in.
It's just gonna go down like the current.
What do you think about about 5 yards?
Oh,
40
more, it'll be more than 5
like
yards.
50 yards?
No, I'm looking more like 10 to 50.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
A 10-wheeler.
Again, I wanna protect, well, it'll be probably a couple
Couple
trucks.
Yeah, couple, right.
But, I wanna protect the roots of the trees,
Right.
cause they're all exposed now,
Mhm. Yeah.
which means more work for me because I gotta get the dirt under the roots, cause I don't want to damage the roots in the process as well.
Okay, so,
How'd you fare during this last storm?
Actually, it wasn't too bad, to be honest with you.
okay, so you said the plan is to deposit
Yep.
Phil,
Yep.
what kind of
deposit
fill?
back.
Sand?
10 to
It'll be
50,
dirt,
dirt,
where,
dirt.
With
You can't
some-
use sand because sand moves too easy.
yeah.
You have to have
So
dirt,
it's-
something that's gonna clone.
So it's gotta have some plate and stuff like
Yeah.
that, okay.
okay, so you're saying your plan is to deposit 10 to 15 yards
Mm-hmm.
of dirt
Correct.
on the, that'll be sort of like the north,
That's actually gonna be back.
or the south, on the southwest side, right?
It's gonna be on this corner right here.
Dirt
So it's actually the north side,
upstream,
the
Here.
north side of the stream.
upstream of the tree. Then you're going to put,
Felt paper. Felt paper's just,
Keep it in place.
retain, yeah,
Right.
retention.
and so the cloth is gonna go, again, so the cloth is gonna go, it's gonna have to go into the watercourse bed a little bit, right? Cause then you're gonna fill the rocks on
Mm.
top of it?
It's,
Yeah, right? You're gonna have to put, it's not, if you just put it
I
there,
was thinking of
you're
just
gonna
a curve.
undermine it.
You brought up a good point though, Mrs.
yeah,
alright.
Sharon's fine.
Yeah, alright, so I'll fold the cloth, just, because it's gonna get covered by boulders as well
Right,
anyway.
right.
Okay.
That's just to hold the dirt in
To
place.
certain places.
Right. exactly.
So, let's see, so you're saying, so you're gonna install, roughly, no, I want that word, but I want it later. Install a silt cloth,
Over the fill.
approximately, what would you guess, like 10 yards by 10 yards, or what would,
Give me a second, let me process that question.
yeah,
Trying to picture the area.
It's approximately.
It's 3 feet, the cloth is gonna be like 3 feet high, it has to overlap some.
yeah,
Right.
okay, so say 4
So I'm
feet,
saying-
right, 5
I'm saying,
feet?
If I stand, well, you were standing in it, and it was above your head. So I'm gonna say 6 feet. 6 feet height.
6 feet
Now let's
height.
figure the width,
And what would you guess lengthwise?
the width. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like 10 yards.
Okay. 6 feet tall
Yeah,
by 30,
do you concur?
by 30 feet?
Yeah, 30 feet,
Probably,
yeah, 10 yards,
by 30 feet long
correct.
to
To retain the soil.
protect the soil. And then 3, and then you're going to, so that's a lot of rocks.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lot of rocks. Place boulders. And you're saying maybe, and you probably won't be able to handle anything bigger than 5 feet, right?
Not with my backhoe.
Yeah,
It's a BX 250. It's,
yeah. Average size, say, 3 to 5 feet,
okay.
good enough.
I see 5 foot is,
That's a big rock.
That's,
Yeah, you're gonna have fun getting them too, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a place right across from the doctor's office, I'm trying to remember the name of the road. It goes underneath the bridge, and it goes past, before, where the red barn used to be on,
oh, right over by, like,
yeah, they're doing a lot, and he has a whole bunch of boulders there, there's a big sign there for sale, so. I might acquire
Oh, on
some.
Junction Road.
Yes.
Oh, Junction
might
Road, yeah, they
acquire.
do have material for sale, yeah.
I didn't
So-
see that sign yet. That's convenient
Um,
for you.
They got clean fill, and they got,
Is this where you're gonna be getting both the dirt and the boulders
Probably,
probably?
yep.
Okay.
To secure the backfilled dirt. Okay. all right, well, I said, I have no way of knowing whether it's gonna work or not.
Well, you
10 to
gave me a couple
15 yards,
ideas.
huh?
You gave me a couple ideas, so yeah.
Well, that's part of why we go through this,
Mhm.
you know, is to as much help you,
Yeah, I agree.
you know. Lots of times there's a contractor here and we'll have the property owner and the contractor and we'll ask questions of the contractor and he doesn't know the answer. And sometimes the property owner goes, we should have asked him that, you know? It would have been good, you know, cause I said it's,
I'm getting input from a lot of people, and I appreciate it, I wanna say thank you to all of you. Thank you, really.
well, I said,
'Cause this could be way worse than it is, just by knowledge, you know, just ignorance.
Yeah, now, once you get that dirt in there, there's no way to put, there's no
Yes.
cofferdam possibilities, you know, so.
Here's the thing, because the weather is so unpredictable, as soon as I put the dirt in, I got.
I know, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking about.
So I'm gonna be pretty busy for like a week. That's gonna be my priority, is just that, for a week. I'm gonna take a week's vacation.
A week where it's gonna be dry.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
What's-
tiny little water course.
It is.
And 10, 15 yards of dirt is a lot of dirt.
let's see, what is a dump truck? Dump truck's 10 yards, right?
Right.
I don't know, maybe big dump trucks, little ones, I
A
don't
big
know.
dump truck is 10
I don't
yards.
know what we could do to, I don't know what he could do to,
The backfilling part isn't my concern, it's the boulders that are my concern, moving the boulders, because I gotta place them.
yeah, well, that's my concern too, cause it's the same one. You got the dirt in there and now you got problems with the boulders and
I
putting,
want it to get washed out again.
yeah, I mean, that's not a 2-hour job,
Mhm.
you know,
But I'm
that's.
willing to do, I'm willing to undertake it.
Yeah, I know you are. I said, I can't think of what we could do to protect that water course while he's putting the stones in case we get a nasty
Well,
rain.
fortunately, gravity does its thing, so I have to put the lower rocks in first, so if there is any water rise, if
Right.
it's not too high, I might be in advance of.
Cause that water course is only like 2 feet wide at that point, right? 2, 3 feet wide?
No,
Is that,
it's like 8 to 10 feet,
so it's shallow.
it's shallow.
Cause then it narrows down. When it goes under
After their property, it narrows down.
Yeah.
It expands.
into the
It
wetland.
looks like it took a turn at some point in
Yeah.
time.
Before we.
Before
import it,
you,
yeah.
it used to go one way and I don't know, now it goes a
Now it
different way,
goes-
it got shallower and wider when it did it. And expanded a new, it's making its own way.
Sure, because it got fussed with.
And that I
What do
think
you mean
is
it got
actually what's
frustrated?
causing your problems.
Well, I said it's, you know, that tree had been there for a long time. And the water probably hasn't been there a long time.
Correct.
Something pushed that water that way. But what that is,
It's a
that's,
curve, it's the only thing I can think of.
well,
I
Correct.
don't
it's
want to
just,
make a straight line.
Right.
it's just odd that this is happening. That tree's 50, 60
Well,
years
it's
old.
also odd that we've been getting the weather we've been getting. I don't remember so much water
Yeah,
in so many years. I mean, we've been getting, these flash floods are just incredible. That's a new thing.
But that new path was there before we even worked on it.
oh yeah, no, I'm not
Oh, yeah, yeah,
casting
yeah.
aspersions. I'm just talking about
No, I know.
things in
Just trying to-
general,
that's
right?
Trying to calculate.
Something happened to create this problem.
Mhm.
And it's more, in my humble opinion, it's more than just the last 5 or 6 years of rain and Sandy and Isaias and the deluge. This has been going on longer, undermining this tree, which would never have grown there.
If it was,
You know.
it is undermined, it is
Yeah, it never would have
definitely-
grown there. The stream has moved to the tree for some reason, I guess is another
What you're
way for
trying-
me to
yeah.
maybe try and be more clear.
And it could be because it did expand a little, trying to remember exactly where that is, a little bit before that point, so.
Yeah.
I think his approach is pretty solid, so.
Well, here's what I'm worried about. I don't know whether it's solid or not, so. 'cause
No, I
don't know.
understand, right.
I don't know. I'm just wondering, like I said, what can we do if for some reason while he's doing it, we end up with a washout of 10 to 15 yards
Oh,
of
no,
dirt
I'll-
into the
I'll
water course?
expedite that. And again, I mean, as accurate as the forecasts will say they're accurate, that they are, I mean, I'll definitely pick a week where I know I'm gonna have some dry weather.
And if it fails, we're gonna end up with 10, 15 yards in a little water course. you know, if everyone's good
No, I
intentions.
don't disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, on the other hand, I said he's gonna lose a tree.
It's not a living tree. She's what, 110, 120?
It's gotta be close.
What kind of tree is it? I'm just
It's
curious.
a pine tree.
It's a fir.
Big old conifer.
Douglas
You
fir.
can see it from the road, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see it from the road.
Actually, she wanted to put Christmas lights on it, we tried to figure it out, it cost us thousands of dollars to light it.
Yeah, but it would've been pretty. I don't know, I mean, the only. I don't know is the answer. I have no way.
Well, I can't just leave it.
I understand
Okay,
that.
lose the
I
tree. No, I'm
understand
ju-
that.
I'm discussing it.
I understand it, and I'm trying to help you. I said, I really am, you know, but I don't wanna make a bad I don't wanna make a bad situation worse. So, you know,
There's no other thing to do, pour concrete in it, they're not gonna do that.
well, I don't think we wanna do that either.
It looks like, many years ago, I'm thinking many years ago, that there used to be a,
Oh, stone wall.
a stone wall, because it is now on the other side of the brook, but it looked like
By the same
it
width.
had been part of where the tree, you've seen it, it floated, it's separated somehow, yeah.
Well, in my opinion, there doesn't seem to be a viable alternative that's been put in front of us. It's either the suggestion you have, what you're asking to do, or doing nothing. And doing nothing is not viable.
If doing nothing just means that we're gonna lose the tree.
Lose the tree and probably,
And then it's gonna continue.
yeah, and if the
making its own
tree
path.
comes down, there's gonna be a lot of dirt
Right.
going into the stream in any case.
Right.
This may not be guaranteed to work, but it's certainly the best
Option, so-
option that I can see.
I agree. I agree with you, Mike.
You're the chairman, Sarah, what you think?
Well, I said, I don't know. I don't know whether it's gonna work or not. I have no
Yeah.
idea. I don't even know, frankly, if putting in concrete would fix it. I really don't know. I mean, Mother Nature can be very relentless in her interests. Very,
She has her
the
issues
wash, she does,
sometimes.
water goes downhill. I don't care what you do. So, again, I repeat myself, I'm sympathetic to the problem. I just, you know, I don't know whether it's gonna work or not. So, that's, all I'm thinking of is can I think of anything else, right, to,
To circumvent the law.
yeah, so the only other thing was, you think it'll take a week?
I'll do it in a week. I'll have all the material delivered and then, just start processing.
Cause I can't think, I said you can't build a cofferdam. I don't think there's reasons to put any sort of temporary rocks in the water course. There's no reason for that. That's the only other crazy idea I had. You're gonna have to probably put, well, if you're gonna stockpile 10, 15 yards of dirt, you're gonna need silt fence around that.
Yes.
All right, so here's we're running out of room here. So for a stockpile of dirt,
Well, the stockpile of dirt's gonna be over here.
well, okay.
It's gonna be over here. It's gonna
Okay.
be, cause I have a big spot in my driveway.
A stockpile of dirt so you need silt fence around that. If he's gonna deliver it,
Yes.
okay, then you're gonna have to get silt fence around that
Understood.
until you use
Okay,
it,
good.
okay?
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, put some fence around it, cause I wanna keep the dirt too.
Absolutely. You
Yeah,
don't-
well,
you
yeah,
wanna
right.
lose
I want
the
it to
dirt.
go where I
It's in
want
your
it to
best
go.
interest to keep the fill
Yeah.
you just purchased, I get that.
Okay. And then you're going to be, the plan is to complete the work in
7 days.
the
6,
7
7
days. Complete work in a dry forecast, right? Forecast
Correct.
of 7 days.
You bet you were pretty good with essays one time too, huh?
Pretty good at a lot of things.
What's that?
Not at, but not at everything. A lot of things, but not at everything. All right. Go ahead.
Any,
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
that-
yes.
Yeah,
Someone wanna make a
okay.
motion here?
all right, where are we? Let me make a motion, in the matter of W-23-52 for 11 Merwin Brook Road, that, we approve a, plan, is there a date on
Nope, I'm
this?
gonna put a receipt
Okay,
date
well,
on it. Plan receipt.
proposed to deposit as listed on the
There you go.
on the map received on January 22nd of 2004, with all the usual stipulations. And did you want to add? Was there
Plus.
something- Plus, what was the
Right,
one you?
plus, you know,
Oh, the
this
ones
is the
that-
with
yeah.
the understanding of the,
Okay.
of the
Mhm, what's written
construction
on the-
sequence,
Yeah,
which is, and you do your
Okay.
best to read that.
well, with the understanding that the construction sequence would include depositing 10 to 15 yards of dirt upstream of the tree, install
Silk cloth.
silt, what's the, oh,
Cloth.
silt cloth, about 6
Feet.
feet by 30 feet long to protect the soil. Doesn't say anything about the boulders, though.
Right here, 3.
Oh, 3. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time reading this.
Really?
Oh, place boulders, average size 3 to 5 feet, to
To
secure
Backfill dirt.
backfill dirt. That there will be a stockpile, must be processed with silt, protected with silt fence, and
Complete work.
work within 7 days, preferably in
So
7
definitely.
definitely with dry days, forecast to be dry days. I mean, we can't make him responsible for the weather
misforecast.
forecasters being wrong.
No, right. I think that's it. We got the usual ones. I think that's it.
Yeah, we started with the usual.
No.
You need a second, I'll second that.
So Bob seconds. All right, again, just to restate, I don't know whether it's gonna work or not. I hope it does. Let us know, right? Yeah, let us know. Send us a call, send us an email, send us an
Oh,
email.
just come here and visit us.
Yeah, or come and see us. And then when you're done, send us a picture, right?
Yeah, I'll.
Send us a picture of what it looks like. Let us know.
She's gonna take pictures as I process it anyway.
Yeah, I would guess so, for your Christmas card, right?
Right.
Yeah, send us a picture when it's done, okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
Or you get pictures of
Yeah,
the process.
Okay.
So she also will see how it was
yeah,
underneath,
the process.
in other words, just step by step how it was
Mhm.
constructed.
okay. 122,
You'd-
20.
And
Well,
if
I said I
there's an
hope-
issue, we know what to do or not to do next time.
I hope for your benefit, for the expense you're gonna have to go through here, and Mother Nature
Cooperation.
cooperates. All right, you're all set.
Oh,
You can start,
good luck
you know,
with
you can
this.
start your plan tomorrow. Eventually, in the next week or so-ish, you'll get a letter sort of confirming all this, but you're all set. Okay?
Oh, that's right.
All right,
Okay,
Thank
good
you.
luck.
all right, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
You guys have a
Yep.
happy new year too?
Yes.
Yep.
We've
Thank
had a
you.
good one so far.
Yeah.
Yep. Okey doke.
Check out the road tomorrow.
All right, so
Yeah.
next, anybody here for
It's too
34
cold.
Riverford Road?
And they're like V-shaped.
I hope not.
cut on the top. But that V-shape just folded all around, they're folding in.
Yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow just to push over. I have a meeting in the morning, but I'll probably go.
I think that's
This one was pretty straightforward here.
4-bedroom home, septic.
Okay, so no one is here. Hopefully somebody, let's just do a quick look at the minutes. New planning, last on the property was, oh, this is the one, the wetland.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Right,
so,
right, he bought the
yeah, so
house.
here's the problem with 34, it's not a problem, because he's gonna fix it, 34 Riverford Road. He's got a map that's showing wetlands. There's no flags. There is no data to say who flagged the wetlands,
I remember that, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if
And it was
I-
a very long time ago. So
Correct.
we said,
you
go
have to redo it,
to
correct?
redo it.
Yep.
So, and I don't, have you heard, I don't see anything new here, of course.
I don't
Not too
have
much-
anything new. I do know that Christine had sent an email. I think the email is in there. And I think an email response
Yep.
should also be back in the packet indicating he did not have all the material that was requested at the last meeting.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that. We said, look, we can, we had some time, right, on this one, when this was due, February 4th. Oh, wait a minute,
This one has until,
we're not here.
so he needs to give you an extension.
Well,
And that's what he was sent, that he needs to grant an extension.
we talked about that with him. We
Did he
talked,
verbally grant one at the time, or? I mean, it's in his best interest to
Look at the minutes.
I don't believe that he did.
Riverfront Road.
Bless you.
Excuse me. I don't believe that he did. We talked about some options for him.
Yeah, no, there's
That he
nothing
could
in the
give us an
minutes about an
extension.
extension.
I said we could deny it for lack of information without prejudice, so he could come back and he wouldn't have to pay the fee. I'll sneeze again here.
Sorry.
So, since we're not here, what should we do? Today's the 23rd. Since we don't meet until afterwards and
Until
we've
the
not heard
26th.
from him.
You could deny it, again with that,
Mm-hmm.
saying that he has the right to reapply with all the information. You could waive the fee,
Yeah, that's what I said, we would waive the fee, I don't think there's any
and then you'd
there's
reset
no
the
way with the
clock.
weather, he's gonna, even if he finds somebody, they're not gonna be able to dig
Mm-hmm.
and get anything worthwhile.
Since we haven't heard from him, I believe he was sent an email letting him know that he had options.
Yeah, what's the
That
date
they
on
could either withdraw the application, they could ask for a continuance, and we haven't heard anything from him.
Yeah, so that was sent on Friday the 19th. At 7:30 in the morning.
Maybe a deny and he can reapply without penalty?
Well, I don't know if it's a penalty with that, what you mean without a fee,
Yes.
yeah.
The only thing I would suggest is to still charge him his legal notice fee, because we'll have to be doing legal notices again, because I have to legally notice the denial.
Ah,
That's the only fee.
so what's the fee?
It would be the legal notice fee, which, let me just grab your fee schedule.
You will be responsible for the legal notice fee.
Yes, the publication of the legal notice fee. That would be the one thing you would have to pay.
Publication of the legal notice.
Of the legal notice, yes, sorry,
legal
I'm adding
notice.
fee, but that's
Jeez.
not correct.
And our
Legal-
next meeting is too far out for this to be continued.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we had a long discussion on it. I was pretty sure, I asked him if he understood his options. He said yes. As I remember, he said
I
yes.
agree.
But we did spend a lot of time
We
on it.
did.
I think he was a little worried about the denial,
Mhm.
you know, because a lot of people do.
Right.
But I tried to my very best to convey to him that if, you know, he wouldn't have to pay all
Right.
the fees. So I thought I heard him say he understood his options. So unfortunately, because of the timing, I think that's where we are. I think
Right.
we need to deny it because, we
Mhm.
need to be specific. When you deny something, when you approve something, we should approve it because, and we should give a reason, but we get sloppy there. I'll just put that out there. But when we deny it, we definitely wanna make sure we put a reason in there. And that would be for lack of information on exactly, well, for two reasons. First, that it is apparent that any wetlands flagging was done was done
There's no
way
record.
too,
There's no
there's no
record.
record,
I think
there's no
18
record,
years.
thank
Right,
you.
right.
There's no record of when those were flagged and who flagged them.
Exactly.
And that's the reason, right?
Right.
There's no evidence of when those were flagged and who flagged them.
Right.
Well, and the other thing is he didn't appear this evening.
That's not a reason. That's not a reason, you know, simply because he's not here. I mean, anything could happen, Dave. That's not a reason.
We may have had an explanation.
They may have,
Yeah,
you know,
but-
but things can happen.
He did write an email saying that he didn't have the
Yep.
information.
He didn't. He tried to get it, cause he tried to get it from CCA and they didn't have anything either.
Yes, and that he wasn't, but that's when Christine sent him the email saying, you have these options, probably reiterating what you guys explained to him at the last meeting.
Well, hopefully, yeah. Okay. All right, well then, I'll try this here then. Where are we? I'll make a motion that, for application W-23-59, 34 River Ford Road, which is an application for a 4-bedroom home, that the application be denied, specifically for lack of information about when the wetlands on the plan were flagged and the name of the party that flagged them. This denial is being done without prejudice. If the applicant wishes to resubmit, he will only be responsible to pay the publication fees for any legal notices.
I second
You
that.
like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bob
Sounds good.
seconds that. Did that work out? Okay. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
So that way we're not, as a town, losing money on the application, which is why I do the legal fees.
Fine. Yep, no, thanks for that. Let me put this back in here. Okay, we do not have any new business.
sorry.
We do not have any correspondence. The previous minutes. I would, on line 20 and 21, it say the reports state that the overflow from,
West Wales.
yeah, I don't, is it the wet swales along the eastern southern parts of the property has caused the Still River to carry sediment? I don't think that's what's going on. I don't think the property has an overflow, has not caused the Still River to carry sediment, because there was no sediment in the river yet.
It's just in the wet swales.
It's in, yeah, the report, so let's reword this here. The reports indicate, whatever, that's a fussy on my part. Indicate that overflow from the wet swales along the eastern and southern parts of the property may
Have rather than has.
May cause the Still River to carry sediment,
no, it's,
may contribute.
reports state that overflow, no, the reports state that there's silt in the swales, and that could,
Overflow into the Still River.
yeah, so the reports state that the reports indicate that that the swales now contain sediment that could
Be deposited.
overflow sediment
Into
that could overflow into the Still River. How's that? Overflow into the Still River.
Do we have that report?
In last week's we do. Okay, so that would sort of change that first sentence only. I think the rest of it works. Question of the problems are going to continue after time. That looks good. Does that help, Cassandra? The report indicates that the swale along the eastern and southern parts now contains sediment that could overflow into the Still River. I think that is what's going on. Then over on line 62, 63, it says the report will consist of the number, right? The number of trees and shrubs that are alive and those that need to be replaced to meet the minimums, to meet the 80% survival for trees and 50% survival for shrubs. And then let's do a period. Then the replacement for the loss will need to be in the next report. Does that, because that's what we talked about. We're giving them 80% on the trees and 50% on the shrubs. And he's gotta replace them. If he loses, he loses one in the middle, he's gotta replace it, and then we'll do a final on when the 3 years are over. So I hope that was clear in the motion, but does that, how am I doing on this? So the report will consist of the number of trees and shrubs that are alive and those, and the number of those that will need to be replaced. To meet the 80% survival rate for trees and the 50% survival rate for the shrubs, period. The replacement for the loss will need to be included in the next report. Okay. Okay. That's all I found. All right, with those changes, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for January 8th, 2024.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion
I,
carries.
I'll abstain, I wasn't here.
Sorry, so
And
motion
an
carries 3 to 0
abstention.
to 1. Dave abstains. Informal discussion.
I do have one thing that I wanted
Yes.
to bring up for,
Yep. Yep.
again, it was a really busy day. I'm sorry I never made onto your agenda, but today I was out at Jam Hatch and 292 Candlewood. I got a call for a preemptive work being done.
Okay.
There's trees, actually. There are ash trees that are
Dead.
diseased and dead that need to be removed. It's an interesting piece of property. It actually has 3 different, part of the trees might be on First Light property, which I'll have to discuss with the property owner. Part of the trees are located actually here, and then the rest of the trees were located in this area
That's
right here.
Parenti, right? Scott Parenti?
Yes,
Yeah.
so there's a few things, but before anything was taken down, because they were close to the wetlands, I mean, you can see some of them are dead.
It's awful.
Yes,
Just awful.
it really is. Now,
It's just nauseating.
the big one is actually this guy right here.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, that is going to be the first one on the crisis list. I'm sorry, I don't have pictures for everybody.
It's
but
okay.
it-
You see,
Again, this was a today unexpected site call that I went out to. He just was looking for some guidance to not get in trouble for doing any kind of tree removal
Okay.
in and around the wetlands. Some of this is located in the upland review area. Since it gets a little tricky when you're dealing with dead trees. If they're dead trees in imminent danger, particularly of coming down.
Right.
We, of course, want to.
Right, you can give him the approval to bring down the imminent danger trees, but then he can still follow that up with an
You
application.
can follow it up with an application.
Yeah.
It's also how many, he wants to do this not all at once, over a period of
Between now and spring, probably.
of time, so
Yeah.
he's not taking down 8 trees or
Mhm.
more at
Right.
that time. This one's my first one that's a major concern,
Okay.
and then the question is whether or not, it's not technically, well, I shouldn't say it's not technically, it's hard to tell if it is in the wetlands or not.
Well, if we assume it's in the wetlands, why can't we just, he's gotta take it down, it's
You
dead.
gotta take
He's
it down.
gotta take it down.
Yeah, he's
It's
gotta
dead.
take it down.
I believe
Right.
it's here.
Right,
It's hard to tell on these, he's gotta take it down, and then
he's
it's
gotta
what?
take it down, it's not even an issue. He's
Yeah,
gotta do
so,
it.
yeah, so all he's gotta do is tell you, how is the guy gonna take it down? Is he gonna send guys up, or is he going to
Use a machine.
bulldoze it down, tell him, no, we don't like that idea?
He's aware that there's no bulldozing, but we don't like that idea as a town, because particularly that one
Yeah.
would go probably over the road.
Right. Yeah, so that's all he's gotta do. If it's imminent one, if it's in the wetlands, he's just gotta tell you how to do it, right? To minimum harm, of tractors and oil that's leaks, in the wetlands, so maybe that one has gotta come down by hand. And he's gotta put the chipper far enough away, because
Yes.
chippers leak oil
Yes,
all the time.
yes.
And it doesn't matter who just fixed it, they leak.
So I guess my question to the commission is, do you want because some of this will be tricky on whether or not it's in wetlands or whether or not it's in upland.
Yeah, I don't think it,
I don't think it's gonna much matter.
Agree.
So but when you say application, are you finding with just him going through the process?
Yeah.
Of explaining the construction sequence? Cause the minute I hear application, I'm like, do you want an agent approval? Do you want a commission level application? Do you want it just administratively handled?
You can, first off, if he's taken down,
Imminent dead trees.
if he's taken down, one tree, you got it.
Okay.
This is my humble opinion. If he's taken down 20,
Then we want an application.
then we want an application.
That's kind of where I was
Yeah,
at.
then we
Right,
want an
right.
application because, again, whether it's in the wetlands or it is in the upland review area, there's going to be chippers
Yes.
and there's gonna be chainsaws. And we wanna know,
When,
where can you keep the chippers in the parking lot? Can they haul the stuff up? I don't wanna have those chippers near the wetlands or anything
the lake.
close, or in the lake, anything close. So that's what he can bring in the application. If he wants to take 2 or 3 years to do it, fine.
Okay. So I
Well,
will-
it depends on the condition of the tree. If it's serious, he might,
So I went out there, and the only one that seems to be in imminent danger of being a problem if it
Uh-huh.
comes down is that really big one.
Okay.
And maybe a few more in that area. I didn't get a chance to really go back and
He can
inspect.
address that. I think he should be
Have
able
him
to
send
address
you an email that says, I wanna take this one
That's-
down, you
Right.
agree, here's what we're gonna do. We
Right.
understand
With the
it's in the
construction
wetlands, the chipper will be in the parking lot, we will keep all the gas and
got
the
the idea,
engines
yeah.
in the whatever.
Perfect.
And if you get you an email like that, and, oh, by the way, because we're taking down 20 trees, I understand I'm gonna put an application in place and it's gonna cost me X dollars, and we'll get it done for them.
Okay,
How's that
perfect.
sound?
It just-
would
it
we
just wanted a little
want,
guidance on the starting
would
point.
we want
Yeah.
him to plant another tree in replacement?
Well, I would, particularly if it's 20, now it becomes a matter of what.
And I'm just throwing out a number because he doesn't have a number for me. I said how many and I kept on getting, I won't know until I know. The intent is not to take them again all down until they need to be taken down. So it might wind up that you don't see him for an application because he might only have 1 or 2 trees any given year. I'm surprised this is a problem right now for the ash borer.
Those have been dead for a while.
Yeah.
It's a big tree, so it's not
Yeah.
$5 to take that tree
No,
down.
that's the one that,
Right.
and it is over, if it comes down, depending on the direction, it could be over the road.
Okay.
Is this a
Well, he
home
would
or a
wanna
business?
do that
Sorry.
before he opens the restaurant also.
Oh, it's the business. Is it,
So, the property is very strange over there it's not, it's that portion where the big tree is that we're
Mhm.
discussing is all owned by the estate of the Parentes. So, but there is also First Light property there, which of course, before any trees are taken down, I'm gonna make sure First Light is notified if it's on their property or have a discussion.
That's not your job.
That's not my,
That's
they
not
have
your
to-
job.
They have to
Yeah.
prove to me that they notified First Light, maybe I should
Okay,
reword that,
yeah.
that First Light gives them permission to go on the property. That's always tricky with the lake. And,
Yeah.
but the major one, the first one, is not on First Light property, it's on Parente property.
Okay, well,
So,
if, I understand, maybe you can tell him, look, he can take the one big down. If he's, the next one, it's gotta have a plan,
okay,
the next one's gotta have a plan, and it's gotta have all the safeguards for the lake and in the wetlands, and we can work with him on the estimates. If it's a matter of, we think there's in here, but I don't know if it's 8 or 9, we can work with him on that,
okay.
okay? It doesn't have,
Because this was, like I said, first conversation that I had with him, and I just kind of wanted to open up dialogue between everything. I'm like, don't do anything yet.
Yeah.
Let me talk to the commission.
Well-
But again, that first tree, do we want him to replant something else? Take it down, but put something else
Well,
up?
whatever. I mean, it may have had, like, places for owls and squirrels and stuff like.
oh, I'm
because
sure it
it's dead.
does, I'm sure it's
But
done.
you can't replace it with something that's gonna have holes in it.
Well, you can, because eventually in 30 years, it'll be a nice big tree. Yeah, in 30 years, it'll be a nice big tree. So you're right, when big trees come down, it's a nice, because the ones that are on my property, the dead ones that are in the back, the owls and the woodpeckers are
Oh,
having
yeah.
a field day. They love those things. They love them. There's all kinds of holes all over the place. It's
Noisy.
exciting.
Noisy.
Yeah, it's
Big.
exciting to see. So I don't, if it's one big one,
I think we should ask him to plant something.
I would let him go with it. And we can ask him if, he's gotta come back anyways.
if it's just one, I mean, ask him, he may want to anyways,
I
you know?
did ask him actually if he was planning on planting anything, and he said he wanted to wait until the spring and see what it all looks like. The person who I was discussing was the landscaping company, the gentleman by the name of Ryan Ackle,
Don't know.
so, but he's a Priority Landscaping
If,
company.
I understand, if it's just one,
Yeah, I agree.
maybe not, but if it's 20, those 20 ash, you know, they're coming down, then yeah, I think we definitely wanna talk about replacing
Yeah.
10 of them. You know, for 20, we gotta put in 10. You know, it's getting to be a challenge too, what do you put in, cause there's so many bugs now. You know, for just one, I wouldn't force them, but multiples, yes.
Would you suggest without forcing him?
I'm not talking to them, you know.
I mean, I
I
absolutely
think
have
it
no
would be a
problem,
nice gesture without any force.
suggesting
Yeah.
that he might wanna consider planting. It's my feeling, and this is just a feeling, it wasn't discussed, that they're not gonna wanna leave it 100% bare.
Bare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of, just the the vegetative buffer between the two areas.
Between the
They're
two
expressing,
areas. Yeah.
you know,
Then would we have a discussion about what replacement tree would be, or is it
Anything
his
native that
choosing?
can if it's wetlands, anything native and handle wet feet.
I mean, that I could give him suggested wetlands planting
Yeah.
list as far as approved native plantings. I think Deep came out with a list, not that.
They do,
Yeah,
yeah, Deep's
so-
got a list.
And just kind of accept anything on that. Of
Yeah.
course, native, of course, not invasive, you know, they're no, you know.
Right.
You gotta suggest that too.
Right. All right, so do your best
Yeah, I'll
with
have a
them.
conversation with him and talk to him about the timeline, about that one tree, and then have a discussion about how many and possibly gathering.
Yeah, tell them the
of
next
like-
one,
Next one is.
the next one needs a plan.
So,
Okay.
absolutely, and again, like I said, I just talked to him for the first time today.
Yeah,
We ended up going out there, which is why it's informal discussion.
right. Okay, well, I hope we were helpful.
Yes, very much, thank you.
Okay. Alrighty, anything else? Wants to go home? Who wants to go home?
Do I wanna go home?
You wanna go home?
Well,
Make it
At some
happen.
point, I want
Make it
to.
happen, Bob.
Huh?
Make it happen.
I'll make a motion, we, adjourn.
Adjourn. I'll second that.
Dave seconds that.
All right,
All
we're
those in
out of here.
favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
okay,
Aye.
motion
Thank you
carries
all.
unanimously.
Everybody
We are
turn off
adjourned.
their